British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good afternoon and welcome back to BCIT News. I'm Riley Cunningham. Here are your final news headlines of the day. BC Conservative MLA Sheldon Clare says he'll be throwing his hat in the ring for the party's leadership. Clare says he has seen a lot of pressure from former BC Liberals to take control of the party, but that the BC Liberals represent a failed model in BC politics. He says he's running to make sure the Conservative Party stands firm against the ideological policies of the New Democrats and BC Liberals. Clare plans to launch his official campaign toward the end of January and plans to bring a northern perspective to the race. He currently represents the Prince George, North Cariboo riding. A mysterious oily substance has created a big mess in the waters near Nanaimo today. The Ministry of Environment and Parks say they're currently working toward cleaning up the mystery substance. The spill, which is anticipated to be 350 to 1,600 liters in volume, originated at a commercial waste disposal operation. Ian McAllister, conservation advisor with Pacific Wild, says spills like these are happening more and more often.
It happens all too frequently, unfortunately. There's considerable discharge in these waters. There's a lot of traffic, shipping traffic, and of course it's set to increase dramatically, as oil pipelines and the Port of Vancouver expands almost on a yearly basis.
The province have deployed booms and say there has been no spread from the containment area. Pimachikamak Cree Nation continues to struggle after a power outage caused frozen pipes, pumps, and sewage backup. Politicians traveled to the community yesterday, and today it was announced that additional heaters and tradespeople can be expected in the community this coming Monday to help with cleanup and repair. Chief David Manias says that the extent of the damage remains unclear, but it involves 1,300 houses that have been left uninhabitable for 2 weeks due to the failure of critical infrastructure. Many holding tanks in homes remain frozen, and testing will need to be done on water lines once they're thawed. The federal government has committed to helping with the restoration, and Premier Wab Kinew has asked Crown-owned Manitoba Hydro to review its response to the power outage. Speaking of winter weather, it has arrived in the Lower Mainland, and road conditions are worsening for many parts of Vancouver. Reporter Nate Elms has more on conditions and why some road users are not on winter tires.
BCAA saw an uptick in calls requesting roadside assistance after Vancouver's first snowfall of 2026 on January 7th. According to the Tire and Rubber Association of Canada, 1 in 3 British Columbians do not use winter tires. Despite acknowledging the added safety benefits, they cite cost as a contributing factor. The senior manager for BCAA's Road Assist Fleet, Daniel Quigley, offered advice for those without the means to purchase winter tires this season.
Regardless if you're in a 4x4 vehicle or an SUV or anything like that, or a front-wheel drive vehicle, if you don't have the means to have the winter tires, what you want to do is to adjust your driving to the conditions.
Quigley went on to say that used winter tires are also a viable option, but only in a full set of 4, and if they have adequate tread depth of at least 5 millimeters. Nate Elms, BCIT News.
Nate now joins us live in the studio to chat more about those winter tires. Welcome, Nate.
Hi, Riley. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So how many people use winter tires in BC?
It's about 2 out of 3 people, but for those 2 out of 3, the 1 out of 3 often cite cost-related reasons for not running winter tires.
Understandable. It's a tough economy for a lot of people these days. How much does it cost to get a set of winter tires?
Well, the most popular vehicle in BC is actually the Honda Civic, and it costs anywhere from $800 to $1,500 to get a full set of winter tires brand new. But as car sizes and rim sizes increase, for some SUVs, costs can approach or exceed $2,000 for a full set.
Holy moly, that is quite the expense. Well, thanks so much for joining us today to chat about that.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Alrighty. London Drugs is closing its Woodwards location at the beginning of next month. Our reporter Gabe Liesi spoke to local businesses in the area concerned about what this means going forward.
Gastown businesses are concerned about what the future holds once the London Drugs in the historic Woodwards building closes. The company made the announcement yesterday, and the store will cease operations on February 1st. Alejandro Silva is the kitchen manager at Chialito Lindo across the street. He is cognizant of the business that London Drugs brings.
Sometimes people are not even thinking about eating, and they come here to London Drugs, see our restaurant, and they just stop by, grab some tacos, and we get a customer. If we're lucky, even a repeated customer.
The London Drugs store on Hastings and Abbott has been open since 2009. It's closing due to, quote, persistent safety incidents and significant operating losses. Gabe Liesi, BCIT News.
Looking to the skies, Canadians have air passenger rights under the Air Passenger Protection Regulations, including minimum compensation and rebooking obligations when flights are delayed or canceled. But enforcing those rights can be a challenge. Our reporter Braden Goodman has more on the story.
The federal regulator tasked with enforcing those rights, the Canadian Transportation Agency, has faced a large backlog of complaints. According to the CTA's latest report, in its first full year using a new complaint resolution system, the agency resolved more than 33,000 cases in 2024 and 25, nearly 3 times as many as the year before. Despite that, it continued to receive tens of thousands of new complaints, leaving more than 84,000 unresolved cases at the end of the fiscal year. Passengers who seek compensation must still file a written claim with their airline and may wait months or even longer before a complaint is reviewed. The result is a system where rights exist in law, but access to them can be slow and uneven for many travelers. Braden Goodman, BCIT News.
2026 trend predictions say internet users may be stepping away from the digital sphere for more hands-on activities. Our reporter Caroline Doyle reveals why people may be going backwards in technology.
A recent report by Shift, a BC internet browser company, revealed 62% of the 1,000 users surveyed experienced digital burnout. This may leave people to step away from the internet and step into analog mediums. Clint Moreau's, owner of Space Lab, a vintage decor and audio shop in Vancouver, says people are looking for more tangible and real enjoyment.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing trends regarding people wanting more sincerity and more tactile interaction.
Moreau sees the younger generation opting for more record players and analog audio equipment as they start to inherit their grandparents' belongings. He believes old school analog won't last forever as replacement parts are becoming harder to find. Caroline Doyle, BCIT News.
Could your dog be a genius? A new study says Fido might know more than you think. Researchers now believe that dogs can learn through eavesdropping. A study conducted for the journal Science revealed that when dogs watch their owners hold a new toy and talk to another person about it, 7 out of 10 were able to go to another room and retrieve that specific toy from a pile. Only a select group of pooches is capable of this, and scientists aren't sure why. Looking to sports now, the Vancouver Canucks are in Detroit tonight to take on the Red Wings. The Canucks are coming off a 4-game losing streak, heading to Michigan from Buffalo, where they lost 5-3 against the Sabres. This will be game 2 of a 6-game road trip for the team, the longest they'll have this season. The puck drops at Little Caesars Arena in about 20 minutes. Also in the NHL today, the Chicago Blackhawks have traded Laurent Brossoit to the San Jose Sharks today. The Sharks sent defensemen Ryan Ellis and Jake Furlong, along with a 2028 fourth-round pick for Brossoit. Despite signing a 2-year, $6.6 million contract with the Blackhawks in 2024, Brossoit never played for the team. He missed all of last season after a meniscus operation on his right knee and had been playing in the minors this year after returning from the off-season hip surgery. The Canadian Football League Players Association has given out its 2026 team report cards. Reporter James Nyo has more on the concerning grade for the BC Lions.
On Wednesday, the Canadian Football League Players Association released its second annual club report cards for 2025. Which are graded based on players' opinions on team operations. The BC Lions were hit with a grade of C, the lowest among all CFL teams. This announcement comes as a surprise to many, including Section 214 Sports Podcast co-host Lucas Winsman.
I hear the CFL, I hear fans and players talking about how good of an organization the BC Lions have become in the past couple of years under Amar Doman. So I was certainly surprised, and we've been able to attract free agents in the past couple of seasons, so there wasn't really anything indicating to me that we would have been that low on the list.
The Lions had a C+ grade or worse in 7 of the 10 categories, including an F in nutrition and food. James Ngo, BCIT News.
And finally, on the slopes, 2-time Olympic snowboarding champion Chloe Kim said she dislocated her shoulder in training and is unsure whether she'll be able to compete at the Winter Games in Italy next month. She was the youngest woman to win a gold medal in the halfpipe at the 2018 Olympics and continued to dominate the sport with a second gold medal at the 2022 Olympics. Kim says she still has full range of motion in her shoulder and expects to know more after tests on Friday. The fall happened on the halfpipe in Lax, where the world's top snowboarders compete later this month in a pre-Olympic tune-up. And leaving you off with the weather for today. It is currently mostly cloudy and 5 degrees. We'll see increasing cloudiness this afternoon with a 60% chance of showers. Tonight, you can expect the temperature to remain steady at around 5 degrees. Going into the weekend, it's looking like we're looking for a bit more showers, but the temperature will stay around 5 degrees for the next few days. That's all we have for you today on BCIT News. I'm Riley Cunningham. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great night.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
I would recommend this program for anyone that isn't sure what kind of job they want in media, because you learn everything from like public relations to communications to video editing, like radio, TV. So you do get a lot of experience in all the different fields in media.